Humankind cannot gain anything without first giving something in return. To obtain something of equal value must be lost. That is alchemy's first law of equivalent exchange. In those days, we really believed that to be the world's one and only truth. Alphonse Elric, from the first opening narration. Hi, hello, and welcome again everybody to another episode of Natural Juan. This time around we're going to discuss the major differences between the two epic anime series spawned from the manga Fullmetal Alchemist created by Hiromu Arakawa, which include the Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 anime and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which was released in 2009. Before all that though, I'd like to dedicate this video to certain people who told me to push through with this video. DJ Mejavillo, Christian Handumon, and Dice Bailson. Special shout out too to Mr. Jonathan Green, my patron in Patreon. If you would also like to see more content like this, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications. If you would also like to support my channel and what I do here, please feel free to check out my Patreon information in the description below, which also includes info on both PayPal and Gcash for making quick, one-time donations. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's get ready, steady, and go into the world of Fullmetal Alchemist. Fullmetal Alchemist is actually a manga created by fan-favorite manga artist Hiromu Arakawa. Fullmetal Alchemist can be considered Miss Arakawa's magnum opus, being the culmination of so much time, energy, and research put together by the young mangaka. At its heart, Fullmetal Alchemist tells the story of two brothers, Edward and Alphonse Elric, who go on a quest to restore their bodies to normal after their experiments with alchemy in an attempt to resurrect their late mother fail horribly and leave them changed forever. Ed Elric, for one, loses one of his arms and one of his legs, but gains knowledge beyond human comprehension, allowing him to transform objects into different forms without using the usual means of performing alchemy, which usually involves the use of geometric transmutation circles. Alphonse Elric is the less fortunate of the two, as his own body is consumed in the exchange, forcing his older brother to recapture his soul and place it within a suit of armor so that he may stay in the world. The manga proved to be extremely popular and, in time, took the world by storm. An anime series was created for it in 2003, which is the aforementioned Fullmetal Alchemist 2003, which gained many fans throughout the world and was especially loved in North America and Europe due to the similarities of the setting to the Western world at the turn of the century. However, midway through the series, the show began to catch up to the manga, making it difficult to produce episodes until the creator finished. With this in mind, Hiromu Arakawa gave her blessing to the animation studio in charge of making the anime to add their own ideas to the story. While it came out different from what the author originally intended, Miss Arakawa went on to praise the finished Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 and saw it as something different from her own work, but nonetheless saw the merits in it. Then, by 2009, the manga was finally finished, and a new adaptation could be made, this time following what the manga artist originally intended. This was what brought about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, much to the joy of fans of the manga, and what also started a kind of schism between the fans of the first anime and those who followed the manga loyally and those who just watched FMA Brotherhood. To put it mildly, Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 can be best described as a pragmatic adaptation of the manga, being similar in theme and characters, but changes to something different near the middle of the series. One of the biggest differences between the two anime is the theme and mood of both shows. For one thing, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood tends to be happier and more upbeat than its predecessor, choosing to focus more on the grand journey of the Elric brothers as they travel across the land of Amestris, and occasionally beyond in their quest to return themselves to normal. While the darker elements of the series are certainly present, from the details of the gruesome Ishval War, or Ishval genocide, which seems more apt, to the awful fate of Rose Thomas, they are downplayed in favor of Ed and Al fighting off chimera and homunculi who seek to destabilize their nation. Another thing to note, though I'll do my best to skirt around major spoilers for this, is that the homunculi for the first anime are made from the remains of people resurrected through alchemy, and thus put a completely different spin on how other characters interact with them. This is quite different from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, wherein the homunculi are creations of the being known as Father, whom I've already detailed in an earlier video. Another major difference is the art style found in the 2003 anime, whereas Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood fully utilizes the style and flair of Hiromu Arakawa's work with stocky male characters and well-proportioned female characters. Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 gives the characters a slenderer appearance and tend to look younger with a Roy Mustang that could easily be played by an actor like Keanu Reeves. About the only characters who didn't seem to change between the shows are the buff Alex Louise Armstrong and Sieg Curtis, the husband of Izumi Curtis. Then you have the numerous changes to characters, which might include a few spoilers, though again, I'll try my best to avoid spoilers until it's absolutely necessary. For instance, the change in the nature of the homunculi completely changes them and their roles in the story altogether. In the 2003 anime, the homunculi have a weakness to the remains of the people they were created from. This makes them especially vulnerable when the Elric brothers discover just who they were made from and decide to weaponize the body parts of lost loved ones against them. Another major difference is that the dynamics change completely with some characters, as Envy in the 2003 anime is presented to be a kind of commander to the homunculi, rather than the embittered brute that he is in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Sloth is also changed significantly, being created from someone very important to the Elric brothers, and is less a hulking monstrosity of a man and more of a being that can change itself into water. That said, the biggest changes to the homunculi are the interchanged roles between Wrath and Pride, wherein the 2003 anime, Wrath is a somewhat resentful but still redeemable child, but in Brotherhood, Pride is an inhuman monster just pretending to be a child. There are also a number of original characters in the 2003 anime, including Frank Archer, who embodies the evil of the Amestris military, and can also be seen as a dark reflection of the real world's monstrous men, hidden behind the guise of gentlemen. Last to be discussed would be the overall changes made to the story with the many altered characters. That said, just like with the themes mentioned above, the 2003 anime focuses more on the darker and emotional aspects of the manga, but Brotherhood emphasizes the adventure in the story. With everything said and done, I'd still say that both anime shine in their own right, and both are worth watching to the end, even if they are similar in a lot of ways. All I have to say is that if you want a story of adventure and action similar to an Indiana Jones movie, then I strongly recommend watching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. If you're looking for something somewhat sadder and darker, then you'll probably like Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 more, which emphasizes on the horrors of war and how it turns otherwise good people into monsters when they're exposed to too much of it. A glaring difference between the two shows is that Brotherhood is more hopeful, with the heroes catching a break thanks to making allies in the right places, while the 2003 anime shows that even with alchemy's near miraculous properties, it can't fix everything, and that once something is sacrificed, it can never really be regained. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Natural Juan. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications. If you'd also like to financially support my channel and what I do here, please check out my Patreon, PayPal, and Gcash information in the description below. Also, before I end this video, I'd like to emphasize the fact that I need financial support to resume my project, The Misfits. No one is really required to donate anything, mind you, but I need all the help I can get to move forward with it. Just remember to check the description below if you're interested in seeing this project come to fruition. Natural Juan, out.